Vanakkam and welcome to Indulge Auto. Now, what you have here is a very familiar looking car. Now, this is, of course, your Kia Carens, but this car has something very unique about it. There's one feature which you're going to love. Of course, a lot of new features, but there's this one feature that you're going to love. And what is that feature? Hey, I'll tell you in a bit. Meanwhile, enjoy a few shots of the car. So while many might find this look very familiar, but Kia has done subtle changes to it. I won't say they are very big changes, but then you have this connected DRLs here, which run right down to the sides. This new full type grille is absolutely new. It's not really a grille. I would call it more of a front body part. You have the front camera here. On top, now that this car has ADAS, automatic driver assistance systems level 2, you have a camera here as well, which monitors the road. Besides that, of course, down here, you have the radars of the car. So there is one radar up front and there are two at the back for the addition of your ADAS systems. A new design of headlights. Some people when the car first came out in 2022, February, some people felt that the headlights were not strong enough. So what Kia has now done is completely redesigned these headlights to give a greater throw, greater luminosity. If you see the side of the car, apart from, of course, the design of the alloys, which keep changing with every model, you have cameras here now because the company has also added 360-degree cameras. So yes, you have a camera here as well. This profile remains very similar. The big rear door, which gives you excellent visibility out of this class, this area. I mean, all of this looks very good. If you come back to the rear of the car, you'll see again the minor design change here is, of course, the connected LED lights. The design of the tail lights is also a little different. These things are very evolving. They happen from time to time, as you will see. And of course, the boot. Now, the boot has not seen much change here. You still have this car is, of course, the 6-seater. You can get a 7-seater version with a bench seat in the middle. Of course, you can pop these seats down like this and this. You get a huge cavernous loading area for all the luggage you can probably think of. And if you have more people traveling with you, not a problem. You just grab hold of the strap here and you pull it back. But one thing I must point out is you have USB-C charging points at both the extreme rears. You also have a place to keep small phones or tablets and stuff, and the mandatory cup holder is also here. Inside the car, there have been some changes again. I don't know if you can call it very significant, but I do know that quite a few of them are actually worthy and notable. I will start with the seat upholstery. The top end versions get this ivory and black, gray, dual tone kind of a finish. The lower ones get either all black or they get a denim and sort of other finishes in this. But what is notable is now the company has put fabric in all the soft touch places. The door panels have been redesigned. Of course, the Bose system is retained with its 8 speakers, which sounds quite good. But one of the biggest changes that you would see is this instrument panel. Now, this now sports the same instrument panel as there was on the Seltos. You have twin 12.3-inch displays, whether it is for the infotainment system or the driver's essential instruments over here. Uh, of course, one logic I've never understood of Kia is why the cheaper variants get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but the more expensive ones have to have a wire. As I said, beyond my logic, but it works flawlessly when you're connected. You have a quick charging port here, USB-C, you have a cigarette lighter socket, which you can use as an accessory socket, and of course, you have wireless charging as well. Ventilated seats up front, and this new version that is a 360-degree camera, which is here, that's also pretty useful in my this thing. You can change the driving mode. So if I press this button, you can get sport, eco, normal, depending on what program you want. Another very interesting thing that I've just seen here, besides, of course, the EPB, the electronic parking brake with auto hold. Now, these cup holders here, they have a ventilation. So you can switch it on or you can switch it off. What that means is that if you keep a can of a cold drink or water, which you like to have a little cooler than normal, this thing, of course, supports cooling that can or the bottle of water or whatever you have. There's a small cubby hole here. There is some space here, and if you want to store more stuff, just take this away and it becomes a cavernous area. I think it's a very intelligently designed thing. But by far, I would think that one of the most exclusive things on this car is this whole panoramic sunroof, which has now come, and it comes with that big glass pane which you can totally open and let the sun shine through. Or if you are feeling romantic at night, you could probably let the moon through. That is up to you. But yes, a lot of new features here in the front as well. Let's sit in the back and see what's there. In the back seat, again, you, because of the nice wheelbase, you have lots of space, but it's a very interesting setup at the rear. Of course, you have the normal things like the sunshades, which I think are very useful. What I really like is, again, this massive sunroof that is here, the panoramic view. It gives you a nice view over there. One odd thing I never figured out is why do you have a table with a device holder here and the air purifier here? Because then the person sitting at this side does not get the benefit of a table to work on or whatever. And, it's a rather massive air purifier. You have the control for the rear air conditioning here and two USB-C places and a place to keep your digital device. Again, something interesting and a change in this car are these vents at the back. The earlier car had these round type vents that were there, but that did not have a panoramic sunroof. So the vents would be in the middle here somewhere. On this car, they have switched to these type of vents because, now that you have the panoramic sunroof, where do the vents go? Of course, you have reading lights, front and rear. And, there is another very good feature that has come, which I must show you. So if somebody sits over here, all they need to do to move this seat forward is boss mode. You can move this seat back and forth just by pulling this lever. Here, lock and go. And if you have people who need to get into the back, all they need to do is press this. Voila. Engine options generally stay unchanged. So you have three types of engine here. There is a simple 1.5 liter, which gives about 113 bhp and 144 Newton meter torque. You have the turbo petrol engine, which gives you close to 159 bhp. That has about 255 Newton meter torque. And you, of course, have the 1.5 liter diesel, which does about 100 and 14 bhp again, but with about 250 Newton meters of torque. There's a number of transmission options available. So while on the basic car, you only get a 6-speed manual, in the turbo petrol, you can have a 6-speed manual, which has been reintroduced, and you also get a 7-speed DCT. There's also an option of an IMT, the intelligent manual transmission, that Kia offers. And on the diesel, of course, you have a 6-speed manual for those looking for economy. And then, of course, you have a 6-speed normal torque converter automatic, not a DCT, which is there on the petrol version. But let me show you what the engine bay actually looks like. So it's a very compact packed thing. There is a lot of crumple zones in the front for safety, and the engine bay is very neatly laid out. Of course, our test car is new, so you can see everything is spanking, shining, brand new here. But yes, most of the stuff is here. We'll now take a drive in the car to find out whether the turbo petrol is really as good as the company claims it is, or it is just hearsay. So, yeah, let's go on to the next part, which is driving the car. Driving this car, I mean, I wouldn't say it is very exceptional, but it is not too bad either. It is one of those cars which, as we keep on harping, falls in that family category. So, what we have here is basically we are driving the 1.5, 1.4 turbo, the Smart Stream vehicle, which does about 160 horses and 255 Newton meters of torque. Now, it is coupled to a 7-speed DCT in our case. Now, does that make it very exciting? I wouldn't say it makes it very exciting, but what it does is that it gives you a nice, confident driving capability. You know you have the power should you need it. Meanwhile, everybody is safe in the car with 6 airbags standard and a host of other electronic aids which help you in all of this. So yes, it is a car which excels in many ways. I wouldn't say that it is something that is amazing, super amazing, but yes, it fulfills all the duties, it ticks the right boxes, and any day, because of the way the car handles, the suspension, the steering, and all the other features, it would make an amazing family vehicle. So there you have it. We have done another test drive. Now we have driven this car. We have shown you external and internal features and why this car represents such a good value for a complete Indian family. Now, this is targeted specifically to a certain age group, people who are, let's say, about between, say, 25 to 50, or people who are now successful professionals. And this vehicle, Kia will do a very interesting marketing strategy. So the old vehicle is going to be retained. It's not that the older vehicle will be completely wiped out, but that will move to a lower segment, to fleet management and other segments like that, where you need large numbers at lower prices. This one targeted more at a home, targeted more as a private use segment. Prices will start here from about 11 lakh 41,000 and will go up successfully with higher models, and you could end up paying well over 20 lakhs for the top model on the road. But at that price, is it worth it? I would think that with the changes that have been made to this car and the new features that have come into this, I think it really makes it worth it, if you know what I mean. So out of 10, we generally rate a car. I would give this a solid 8. And I think this car represents excellent value for money along with its features. A very good family car to have. So yes, now this is a vehicle which you can certainly look forward to. Meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed this drive with us, and please stay tuned, follow our social media handles, follow us wherever you can, and we'll be back soon with another excellent, scintillating vehicle. Thank you, drive safe, and don't forget to buckle up.